Om Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir me sada yena akshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Sampriktau Vagarthaf Pratipattaye Jagataf Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om Namaste. So we're planning to see today, we were going to see the last shabda of this text, so Chandramas. Before we do that, let's quickly look at Jyotish Chakshush. Okay, this is what we have seen a few times. Let's take another shabda. So let's take Archish. This one, Archish. Yeah, so we can do Archish and we can decline the whole chart, okay? So Archihi, Archishi, Archimshi. There's a anuswara there, so it's really small, but yeah. Archimshi, Archihi, Archishi, Archimshi, Archisha, Archirbhyam, so Archirbhyam, Archirbihi, 4-1, Archishe, Archirbhyam, Archirbhyaha. Fifth case, Archishaha, Archirbhyam, Archirbhyaha. Sixth case, Archishaha, Archishoho, Archisham. Seventh case, Archishi, Archishoho, Archishu. Hey, Archihi, Hey, Archishi, Hey, Archimshi. Okay, so we saw this. So we'll continue on to our last shabda. After that, we can make a choice. We can either do more sentences, practice sentences, or we can learn some new material. And I'll let you both choose. I'll let you all choose that. Okay, so first let's look at our next shabda. This is this Chandramas. Chandramas is in the back of the book, page 148. Page 148 in the back of the book. So this is, we're in the last shabda of the book. That's a big deal. We almost completed the text. We haven't quite there, so we'll still see a little bit more. But this is, yeah, this is, to get this far, it is not always easy. So So congratulations. Here we have us ending, right? So we're doing the same us, not just sakara ending, it's us ending. In Punlinga, the word is Chandramas. Okay, notice how we did have us ending napumsaka, we had manas shabda. Okay, we've seen us ending napumsaka manas shabda. Now we're seeing, delete that, us ending masculine. Okay, so this is us ending masculine. That was us ending napumsaka. Okay. So us ending masculine, the word is Chandramas. Okay, Chandramas means the moon, right? Just like Chandra. But yeah, so there's not too many words we see like this. Like we see Sumanas, one who has a good mind. Vedas, the creator. Again, we don't see that word too many times, but you do see that sometimes in literature, Vedas, the creator. But one name we see often is Nachiketas. Right? We see the word Nachiketas, the boy who the whole story of Kathopanishad is surrounded by. So really the whole reason that we're learning this word is because of Nachiketas. I mean, we do see it. It is useful, but Nachiketas makes it even more useful. So this is a pretty straightforward chart. It's not too complex. We just need to see a few things. Okay, so the one thing we have to see is first case, Chandramaha. Okay, Chandramaha. So how Chandramaha comes from Chandramas? What it says is there's a dirgha, elongation of the penultimate letter. Okay, so let's see what that means, right? So I have Chandra Mas, right? Then I get dirgha, right? I get dirgha, so it becomes Chandra Mas. Okay, it becomes Chandra Mas. You see how it became dirgha? And now we have a sakara at the end of a pada, which becomes visarga. Right? So then it becomes Chandramaha, finally. So Chandramas to Chandramas, and then sakara at the end of the word always becomes visarga, right? And so it becomes Chandramaha. So that's really it. That's the only really difficult part of this word. And another thing we have to note is Sambodhana. Usually 1-1 and Sambodhana oftentimes are the same. Notice here that dirgha doesn't happen. So it's just Chandramaha. Chandramaha. Okay, not Chandramaha, Chandramaha. All the rest of these, we're just adding our supratyas, which we didn't chant. So we should also do that. We just have to add our supratyas. Okay. The next part that's we have to look at is this pada section, and we'll look at this all together, but I want to show you in sections. So we saw 1-1 Sambodhana. The rest of this, we just add the supratyas. And this section, the pada section, is just like manas. What does that mean? Okay, let's look at manas quickly. Manas, we had, like, for example, this should say 3-2, not 2-3, okay? This is a 3-2. We have manas plus byam. Remember, because this is pada section, the anga gets the status of pada. So we have sakara at the end of pada becomes a visarga, right? Manaha plus byam. And then we get namo namaha sandhi. Manobhyam. Similarly here, same thing. We've chandramas plus byam. Chandramas becomes chandramaha plus byam. And then namo namaha sandhi. So chandramo byam. Chandramo bihi. Chandramo byam. Chandramo byaha. Chandramo byam. Chandramo byaha. Okay. Sakara visarga. Visarga namo namaha sandhi. And 7-3. Again, the sakara becomes visarga, so manaha. And then you get an optional sakara because of that other sandhi rule. When a sakara follows, you get this optional sakara. So it's manasu or that manahasu. Similarly here, we have chandramasu or this chandramahasu. Okay, so let's remember chandramaha and chandramaha. Okay, so let's use this chart to help us out. Okay, we're going to practice this. We'll go slowly. So the word is chandramas. Okay, 1-1 is special. Chandramaha. Chandramaha. 1-2. Chandramaso. That's it. Chandramaso. We're just adding it. Chandramas. Aha. Chandramasaha. Chandramasam. Chandramaso. Chandramasaha. Right? So let's say that again. Chandramaha. Chandramaso. Chandramasaha. Chandramasam. Chandramaso. Chandramasaha. Then Chandramasa. Okay, now namo namaha sandhi. So chandramo bhyam. Chandramo bihi. And then chandramas. Chandramase 4-1. Again, namo namaha sandhi. So chandramo bhyam. Chandramo bhyaha. Chandramasaha. Again, chandramasaha. Chandramo bhyam. Chandramo bhyaha. Okay, now we're out of that pada section for a little bit. Chandramasaha. Chandramasoho. Chandramasam. Chandramasi. Chandramasoho. Then chandramasu. So extra sakara. Chandramasu. Okay. Yeah, it feels okay. It's pretty. Yeah, feeling okay. Let's do one more. Let's do Nachiketas. Okay, and again, you can look at this chart if you need. Oh, there's one question. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to know, I'm a bit confused with the pada and bha section and sarvanama section. You seem to be switching it. Is it different in Pullinga as opposed to the Napumsakalinga? I'm not sure.
So let's just talk about Punlinga since we're here right now, right? So in Punlinga and Strilinga, this section is pada and 7-3. Okay, so that's always pada section. And in Napumsakalinga, there's a little bit of it's a little bit different. But all we need to see here is masculine. So I can show you. So if we look at Manas, for example, Manas you also get pada 1-1 and 2-1. So still, this is still pada, but we also, in Napumsakalinga, 1-1 and 2-1 are also pada section. Okay. So when we're looking at Chandramas, for example, why this is so, when we have the pada section, really we have to look at this. It's a bit funny because here the pada status comes to the anga. Okay, so that's why we have sakara at the end of a pada. But when we have, there's ba section and we have sarvanamasthana section. So in masculine, this is sarvanamasthana section. And in that section, right, you have all these suffixes, right? And these suffixes get the status sarvanamasthana, not the anga. Okay, that's, yeah. And also when we have ba, this ba section, oh, and this bit of a funny shape, that ba section is also status for the pratyaya. Okay, so we only get the status of anga for the pada section. Okay, that's where we have to worry about that. Does that answer the question? So let's do one more word, nachiketas. Okay, so we're going to go through the whole declension. Again, you can have this open in your book, but I just want to have this chart up so we can practice. Okay, and we have to say nachiketaha. Okay, that's the start. So we'll go slowly. Okay, you say it, try to go along with me or even go faster than me. That's okay. Nachiketa. So this is asanta punlinga shabda. Nachiketas. So nachiketaha, nachiketaso, nachiketasaha, nachiketasam, nachiketaso, 2-2, nachiketasaha, 3-1, so nachiketasa. Okay, now here we get that namo namaha sandhi. So nachiketobhyam, nachiketobihi. Nachiketase, so nachiketase, nachiketobhyam, nachiketobhyaha, nachiketasaha, nachiketobhyam, nachiketobhyaha, nachiketasaha, nachiketasoho, nachiketasam, nachiketasi, nachiketasoho, nachiketasu. Hey nachiketasa. Sorry. Hey nachiketaha. Right? Hey nachiketaha. Hey nachiketaso. Hey nachiketasaha. So in Kathopanishad, there's a lot of confusion because sometimes you'll see nachiketaha, and then sometimes you say nachiketaha, and then it's very confusing because you're oh, how does this word decline? It's very unusual, but and oftentimes when we're studying Katha Upanishad, we only know Rama Shabda. So we think Ramaha, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. So we think it's plural, but it's not plural, it's singular. So it's funny, right? When we only know Rama Shabda, we would think that this is plural, right? So this is also why we study this. So this is the end of this whole pada section. This whole, shabdas. And so that's a big ending there. Now, afterwards, in the book, you'll see there's a section for avyaya, meaning that which does not decline, right? Indeclinables. And then the author gives preview for the next book. Okay. So let's just talk about preview for next book before we go any further. Let me pull that up here. Okay, so this is and this is also a discussion that we need to have, but there's a whole number, volume 3. Volume 3 is the next series of this books. And volume 3 is really what goes from just reading sentences in Sanskrit books to reading Sanskrit sentence in Sanskrit texts. Because it gives you more vocabulary. It allows you to break down words so you can understand what the word means. And the book is called Panchavrittayaha. Okay, so you can say that. Panchavrittayaha. Panchavrittayaha. So there's 5 types of vritti. A vritti is a single word which has the meaning of 2 words. One word which has the meaning of 2 words. Okay, so let's look at some examples, right? So this is called Sanadyanta vritti. Okay, we don't need to know the name. But here you can have a dhatu. And you can, so here I'll just read a new root derived from a root or a noun. Okay. What this means is that I can make a new dhatu. I can make a new dhatu such as if I have much. Much means like from moksha, to liberate. But now I can add the suffix san, which means desire. Then I can make the word mumuksha, to desire to liberate. So you see how we have this one word, we have one single word, and we have another single word, and you get a whole new meaning of word, mumuksha. This is what a vritti is, when you have single word which can have the meaning of 2 words. So mumuksha is desire to liberate, but mukshu, for example, is the one who desires to be free. So now you see this book is about breaking down, so it's being able to see a word, and maybe you don't know the vocabulary, but if you know how the word is put together, then you can come up with the meaning. So for example, we see this word kartru or karta, right? The doer. And what we find out is that this comes from kri dhatu plus this trich pratyaya. which means doer. So now I see anything with this tru, and I know it's going to be a doer. So let's say I say the word gantru, gantru, G-A-N-T-R, gantru. Okay, gum means to go. Oh, okay, gum means to go. And tru, it means the agent, the doer. Oh, so this means the goer, the one who goes, gantru. So you see how valuable it is to learn each of these things, because then you can, oh, if I know the meaning of the dhatu and I know the meaning of the suffix, I can come up with the meaning without having to look in a dictionary. So these are just some examples. Here we have, this is a different Taddita Vritti, but Dhritarashtra, right? So there's Dhritarashtra. We know Dhritarashtra from Mahabharata, and I'm adding the suffix an. It becomes Dhartarashtra. Now, Dhritarashtra is the person, but Dhartarashtra means the son, the child of Dhritarashtra. Okay, now let's see. Where have we seen this? Oh, we've seen Partha. Partha. Partha is the son of Pritha. You see how Pritha becomes Partha. It's very similar to this, where now I know that if I add that suffix, this change can take place, and then this meaning comes up along with it. So this book is about studying these different suffixes, and from these suffixes, we get new words. Viraga, dispassion, but I want to add this status. So vairagya, the status of having dispassion. In dispassionate, or the quality of dispassion. Okay, so don't worry. We're gonna, this is the study. Another part of this book is samasa. Samasa means a compound word. So, for example, I have the word Gurukulam. Arshavidya Gurukulam. Now, Gurukulam, it seems like two words, right? Does Gurukulam, does it mean the guru and the kulam, home? Or does it mean the one who lives in the home of the teacher? Well, we have to know what type of samasa it is. Here, this type shows that the last word is the predominant word. So what we're talking about is a home. The home of who? Home of the guru. So we're not really talking about the guru at all. Really, that's not the predominant sense of this. The kula, we're talking about the house of the guru. Okay. So I'm just giving a quick overview of some of these different of what this is. Now, my question going forward is, one, do we want to start this? It is a worthwhile thing, and we can go slowly. So this is something to think about. You can let me know. What we can do is we can also do some sentences and go through some sentences and do this at the same time. So we get practice of doing sentences and also learning new vocabulary through the Panchavritti. So this is valuable for this is kind of the next level of Sanskrit, not in level of, there is some difficult, it's maybe slightly there's some difficulty, but it's not more difficult. This is the next level because it allows us to understand how words are put together. And when we understand that, then we can understand, we really understand what the word means, not because the teacher told us so, but you really understand, oh, like this is exactly what it means. Oh, but the teacher's translating it like this. Right? And then you can, from your own understanding, you can understand what does it exactly mean. Yeah. So let me show you one, I can show you one thing. This would be, so this is what we are going, going into. And let me share this other screen. Actually, before we go into this, let me pause because the next material is a whole chunk of material. So I know there's only a few of us here. Is there anything, and you can feel free to unmute yourself, I'll let you do that. Is there anything that you would like to review or like to go back to, or anything that you would like to add to the class at all? Let me, okay, you can go ahead and unmute yourself by yourself, yeah.
I would like to do examples in the class